And it's been going for 6 years, and today it's a very important step for Football United. You must be very excited.
I'm over the moon. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the time that we get to show with hard concrete proof that this program is effective, not just in football, but in a whole range of areas. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Now, obviously, I think it's 18 schools are currently employing the program. Is the next step for you, where do you see the next step? Is it to expand it more into all states and territories in Australia?
It's very clear. We're announcing today a partnership with the Australian Research Alliance for Children and Youth for a national upscaling program of 5 years upscaling to enable Football United to work in any state it wants to, and hopefully all of them. So yeah.
Now, when you began this whole thing 6 years ago, I remember you saying in the program it went back to the Champs-Élysées and the celebrations of France in '98. Did you ever believe when you first got involved that it would get to where we are today?
Well, you know what? It was a vision, and I knew of the power, so I knew something good would happen, but every day I get reinforced by the power that the game, the program has, and the people that volunteer, the kids that come. I guess no, but yes, I hoped.
Now, of course, we have seen, I guess, the difficulties of some people assimilating to Australian life in recent times and in the news for the wrong reasons. People trying to understand how better to build bridges between new communities. Does those kind of events make this kind of program even more relevant and more important to today's life in Australia?
Well, you know, it should. And I'm often surprised at how little people connect us with all the ease and support that could be happening, and how hard it is really for us to get support, because these kids, every single one of them, is a powerful proponent for loving Australia and engaging with their society, with their community. And the little snippets you hear are really very minimal compared to what the reality of newly arrived kids and families' lives are all about.
Now, the essential point of the whole program is not just playing football. It's a lot more than that. Just tell us a little bit about the essential pathways that these kids get when they get involved in Football United. What are they going to get when they enroll in one of your programs?
Okay, so any youth that wants to is offered the opportunity to join our leadership program. They get coaching training, they get communication training, life skills leadership. It's a stepped program, so after the first year they get to work with our youth mentors and our older staff members. As they go on, they get to build their engagement with the program, but also other things. And the kids you see in red are from that leadership pathway. They're now coordinating programs, running the programs. We try to help them get into university or TAFE if that's what they're looking for. We try to get them opportunities like with SPS, for example, with our Digital Connections project. So we help them build, but we also support them, and we try to enable them to stay in school and to understand the importance of the school situation. So a lot of opportunities. And if they have a question or a desire that they want, we encourage them to come and share it with us, and we try to help them realize it if we can.
Obviously, one of your, I guess, the high points of the whole program was in South Africa when you took a team over to the World Cup, and they competed and did very well. Is that plan to go to Brazil in 2014? Is that in train already?
That's definitely in train already for Brazil, but we have an even more exciting in opportunity-wise. Next year in 2013, December, the Pacific Youth and Sports Conference is being held in New Caledonia. And we are the Australian head of delegation, and our goal is to get 50 young Australian leaders to come and engage and learn all about sports and leadership. Not just for football, but Football United will be a big part.
Now, obviously, you've been involved now for 6 years. Where do you see your role? Are you still going to be heavily involved in everything, or are you going to eventually hand over to somebody and say, look, you know, this was my baby, but it's time now for... I mean, what do you see your involvement in that program? Is it going to get more involved, or are you going to take a step back?
Well, my dream would be to be able to spend full time with the program for the next 2 years, continue mentoring my core staff, and continue building the international connections, and then hand it over. My dream is to see my 2 core staff, Toon Ong Shui and Asma Hilal, actually running the program, and I'll step back. I'll remain involved for the rest of my life, but hand over the practical and the development to them.
Now, obviously, you've had, I think, about 4,000 young kids coming through this scheme in the last 6 years. have you set yourself any goals to say, look, by the year 2015, 2016, we want to have a set number? Do you kind of set those kind of goals, or how do you plan that out?
Well, we have a very pragmatic approach. We have our goals. We have a 5-year plan, which will reach something like 15,000 youth across Australia by 2017. However, we're very pragmatic, so we will not go further than we have funding to cover. So we'll never abandon any program we have going if they still want to stay in the program. So if we can get the success, if we can get the support from the government, federal and state, from private philanthropy, we will build. If not, we'll stay the same and we'll still do powerful stuff.
Now, this research document that's being launched today apparently it's a world first. Now, I guess people would say sport does have that great power to harness the exuberance and the excitement of youth. But your program is different from that, because actually it's offering more than just the sport, as we just said. Is there anything else in Football United, apart from the fact that it's the world game, that actually makes it so successful?
It's the way we run the program. It's the people that come to work as volunteers, as coaches, as staff. It's the training we give to those people. They're naturally inspiring and dedicated people, and we work with them to manifest that. So it's really the power of the people that are involved, and they are all really passionate about youth, about multiculturalism, about a peaceful society, and they all come together, and that's what makes it so special.
And of course, you've got the Football Federation Australia on board and the Australian Sports Commission. The support of those kind of bodies, I'm sure, is very important to the overall success.
It's very, very important. I have to also say the support of this university has been fundamental. They've fostered it from the beginning, and it was just my PhD research. They've helped us support. We've got students involved across many faculties, and then the schools themselves. It's not easy for a program like ours to just come in and say, hey, we've got a good idea. Schools are already overburdened with their curricula, but there are people in the school system that believe in this and that go to great lengths to make it happen.